Hello coders, good afternoon. Today it's the fourth part of the PHP registration course. I have finished the PHP logging course. I did that last stream on Sunday. So that's cool. So now we can fully pay our attentions on this one, which is great. What I would like to do today, we've only got an hour because I need to get dinner and go to the gym the other way around. What I would like to do today is work on the deleting a user from the database, and if we've got time, work on the storing the password hash. If we've got time. However, I've just started up the streaming machine, and we have this error. So we got to fix the error first before we do any of that. Right, so you'll have to forgive me whilst I haven't touched this since the last stream last Tuesday, so I'm going to have to refresh my memory. And this is the problem when I do these things just on stream, because when there's like a week of a gap of a week in between, then I start to lose my trail. So what we've done here, I've spun up the local server. It's running off of port 8080, I believe. Yes, and I've just simply accessed it, and it's just fallen over. So no file or directory. PDO object is not initialized. Constructor was not called. This is not looking good. So the fact that the PDO object is not initialized, constructor was not called. It's running off of the abstract manager on line 19, where on terms of the stack trace, it's running the select query. User 1, it's failing at the query by. So this is the temp. This is almost like our test script, I guess, just to make sure all the things are lined up. So it would be failing about here. Right, so we're trying to find a user by ID of 1. And if I click through that, so we're passing in the int of 1, that's the table name. It's running a query by. This would be, yes, query by ID. User is the table. 1 is the ID. It's failing here, and partly it's because I'm not handling the errors very well, but or at all. It's not initialized. Constructor was not called in abstract manager line 19. So, all right, let's scroll up to line 19, which is here. So something's wrong with the DB injection when we pass in DB. Okay, let's have a little look at that. So DB injection is here. What's going on here? Okay. Oh, wait, hang on a minute. This doesn't look good, does it? Missing PDO. Hang on a minute. Oh, no. I need to get to PHP. We're running off of 8.1. That's fine. Why can you not find PDO? What's happened? What has happened to... That is so strange. Add PDO to composer. Okay. This was all working last week. Maybe it's just because the composer's not happy, but okay, that's all fine. I think that was a red herring. Okay, so I reckon it's something to do with the fact that it's not logging into the database. Let's go back to the here. This is what I've just ran. So we've logged in. So this is what I did sort of just to set the stream up. So we've got our connected to the data. I've connected to the wrong database. That's why I've connected to the House Code Well dev site. Oh, you idiot. You tool. All right. Let's come out of this for a second. Oh, dear. Sorry about all of this. Let's just jump back into there. I think that was the password. No, maybe this was. Yes. Show databases. What a fool. Show databases. Thank you. Right, let's drop the database. This is what happens when you rush, right? So we're going to just kill that. Excellent. Right. Now let's see if we can jump into localhost. What a fool. Can I just see if there's anything on my history about this? History, pipe to grep. Oh, Jesus, localhost. Let's try that. No, there isn't. And I can't spell localhost, that's why. See, this is me rushing now. Okay, so this is setting up. There is nothing on. Well, that's a bit strange because I would have done MySQL minus U root minus P. Maybe that's it. No, that's not it. Oh, pants. This stream might just be me trying to access my localhost database. Brilliant. In fact, it would be the same username and password as what we've got up here. Bear with me a second whilst I try and funny about with this. Settings.php. It's this. It's root and it's test. Right. Can this work? So MySQL minus U. Let's do, I guess we would do minus H for, that would be username, minus P, minus H for host, localhost, minus P. No. Brilliant. I have screwed up my database, it would seem. Okay. Good stuff. Okay. Ugh, dear. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can reset the root password of MySQL live on YouTube. Brilliant. Give me a second whilst I have a little panic. It's not that. MySQL safe skip grant tables, that's it, isn't it? And then you stop the server, then you. Yes. All right. I have done this before. It's in my. Thank God for the history. Let me spin up a new window so I can do this live. Because I want that as a reference. Give me a sec. I reckon it just can't connect to the database because it doesn't exist. Right, let's try this. Let's try this. So sudo MySQL d safe. Well, first of all, let's see if we can stop it by brew. No, okay. I don't know if that's worked. I don't think it's not okay. Then we do that, right? And then we have to open up a new window. Default. Ugh. Okay, right. And then this is MySQL minus U root. There we go. Right, so we're in now without a password. We have done it through MySQL safe. So now I need to remember what the query is. I need to remember what the query is to reset that password. So let me just have a little quick look. Let's bring up another tab. Reset MySQL root password. See, I've done it before. How to change. Alter user root localhost identified by new password. I think that's it. Restart the service. this is obviously using Ubuntu. Let's see if we can find something that's specifically for Mac. Aha, there's a gist. Okay, so scroll down. So update user, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's have a little quick look at the comments here. This is brew service stop. That's what I've just done. Update on 8.05. Password function does not work. You have to make sure that MySQL stopped. Grant tables, MySQL root, that's what I've just done. Update where authentication string is null. Flush the privileges, exit, then MySQL root, alter the table identified by. Right, I think that is it. Working for me always. Okay, let's try that. Let's give this a go. So we've just logged in. I've just stopped and disabled and I've put that in. That's fine. So let's grab that. Paste this in to there. Boom. Good stuff. Let's flush those privileges. Boom. Good stuff. Right, then exit. Okay. And then jump back into it again. Good stuff. And then we alter this, but we put in our password of test. T-E-S-T. Right. Yes, cool. All right, so now if we go back to, let's just clear that down. Go back to our original. Now if we did MySQL minus u root, that should fail because we've just added a password. So minus p, go in as test. Yay, we're in. So now if we do show databases, there we go. And we've got the reg course. Right, so that was what? 10 minutes of pure wasting time? Right, so let's just refresh this page. Oh, and look, and it works. Right, so at this point, I would have started the stream. Hey, thank you for joining, DK Kusha. Thank you for joining today. Right, what we're going to try and do is to work on the delete query. And then if we've got time, although we've just literally wasted 10 minutes whilst I was trying to reset my root password for the database, that can be killed or just removed. There we go. There we go. Right. Yes, we might not be able to get to it, which is fine. I don't really want to rush. Well, I am rushing, to be fair. I am rushing. Right, so this is all good. Let's work on our temp file. What we want to do here is work on the deletion. So it's going to be in the user manager. There's going to be a delete, and it's going to be like delete by ID. So what I've just shown you there on that page is me doing the various different things that we're going to use in this course. So this is finding a user by the ID, and the ID, the user, exists because that's the script that I've ran prior to the stream. So we've inserted the user. So here. So we know that there's a user of 1 already in the system. So if we go back to temp here, that's cool. So that's finding by ID of 1. That's what we're seeing here. And then we're doing an insert where we're inserting data, calling this. So what we do is instantiate a new user model, do some validation at some point. Then we save the record. So saving the entity or the model. And that will print out inserted a new root user and then printing out the user that we've just inserted, which is this one. So on ID 3. And then down here, we're updating the user's first name. So scroll down here. What we're doing is we're setting the first name to tester2, and then we're saving that. And then we can print that out. So that is the same ID as this one. And the name has changed from tester1 to tester2. So the next thing is to delete it. The next thing is to delete it. So what I would like to do is the next phase would be something like user manager delete, passing in the ID, which would be in this case 3, and then I guess to ensure that it is deleted, we would run the find by again. So let's do deleted user, and deleted user should be null. So if we did, so let's do down here, so let's do deleting user. In fact, we probably need to delete the first run. Okay, so deleted user, and then what we could do is just throw in a little if statement. So if deleted, come on, if deleted user is equal to null, then we would print to the screen user with ID 1 has been deleted, and then an else. Boom, boom, boom. I guess it would be like print, I don't know, error, user with ID 1 has not been deleted, something like that. I'm just throwing it together. Everything's just falling out of my head. So we need to make that essentially. So user manager delete. So let's go over to the user manager here, scroll down. What was that commented? Update. Delete. I'll deal with that in a minute. Function. No, it's a public function. Public function. Delete. Boom, 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 boom. What is my favorite PHP framework? That is an awesome question. It's Symfony, without a doubt. Symfony all day, all night. All day, all night Symfony. I've tried others, Laravel, I've tried Lumen, I've tried Yi, I've tried Cake PHP, I've tried CodeIgniter. You know, been doing this for yonks, and I always go back to Symfony. I guess it's because I play in the enterprise sort of area. I suppose I just find it more robust than everything else, and I have my personal opinions on Laravel. It's a lovely framework, don't get me wrong, it's a lovely framework. It's just, I think, in my personal opinion, there is just a lot of syntax sugar in that framework, and it makes, if you're not in that ecosystem, it can make it a little bit awkward to get into that ecosystem. Like, I suppose one would say that as well with Symfony, if they've just been a Laravel developer and they're looking at Symfony. But in my opinion, Symfony conforms better to certain things, whereas Laravel's great for coming up with new ideas, right? It's really good for the innovation and stuff. I applaud that. It's just there's some syntax that is a little bit iffy in my opinion. So if anyone asks, Laravel or Symfony, I'll definitely do Symfony. But I can certainly play with Laravel. What else have I done? Concrete 5. I've done October CMS. We're starting to talk about content management systems that are sat on these things. So Silas. What else? Drupal, obviously. Yep. Right. So that's in. Right. We're doing a delete. And what we want to do is delete, I guess it would be delete by ID. I don't know whether I want to just pass in the whole user. Let's just do delete by ID because it's more, it tells you what it is. So let's do an ID. I mean, what we're doing here is just building a framework, essentially. I guess. Right, so from this point, I'm going to try and follow the way this works. So we want to run delete by ID, query by ID to get the, because first of all, I suppose we want to check whether there is a user. So let's do, let's do result is equal to query by ID. We're passing in the ID, and then what does that do? It then runs a hydrate, passing in the results. Let's just have a look at hydrate. So hydrate is an array, passing in all of this stuff. So what we could do is look for that. So we could do something like if empty result. If that's empty, then we would sort of like return null. I mean, all of this, I'm yet to run tests and stuff on all of this stuff, but so if we can't find one, then we return null. And at this point, what we would do is then do this sort of delete, and we would pass in the ID, and this would also return a result, and I guess that would return a Boolean. So maybe this should return a Boolean. So yeah, maybe that should return a, and maybe this, all we need to do here is just return that. So that's false. So it'll try and look for it first. If it can't find it, it'll return false. Let's go and update the temp here. So let's change that to be has deleted and get rid of the null here. So if has deleted, then there we go. So right, that makes more sense in my head. So here we need to create the delete. So we need to jump up onto this part here. So we do public function delete, and we want to pass in the int, which is this, and then the ID, and then we'll do, what do we do, Pete? What do? We do a delete query. That's what we do. Delete from passing in the table name. Yes. So that would also need to be here as well. So string table name, and jump back to user manager here. Scroll down to the user manager. That would pass in self. Hang on a minute. Oh, here we go. It's on the user, isn't it? User table name. Return value is expected to be Boolean. Void is return. Okay, fine. Let's just shush. Return true. Be quiet. Stop nagging me, PHP Storm. Thank you. So delete from table name. So it would be table name, where ID is equal to ID. Whoops. Right. And then we need to scroll. Just so I've got something to copy. Statement is equal to this db prepare, and we pass in the SQL, and then we do statement execute. All of this needs to be refactored because I'm just duplicating lines of code. ID, and that needs the colon. Right. Okay. So, boom. What do you return? True on success or false on failure. Lovely stuff. That's exactly what I need. Go back to there. Click on you. So let's just return that. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. And then return that. Cool. Okay. So I think that covers that. I guess what we could do is just take a look in the database just to see, you know, the raw data. So let's do use PHP Array Course. And then let's do select all from users. Apparently it doesn't exist. Show tables. User. There we go. Right, so there's 2 users in there. And we want to remove that one. That's the plan. So let's do that. I'm just going to walk through this in my head. So what we're doing is we're deleting the user by the table name. No, this is delete by, isn't it? I have plans for the abstract class. I'm going to decouple it from the user manager. So don't worry about that. User manager, delete by ID, passing in the ID that we want to delete, and then it's going to try and find it. Actually, no, I don't need to do that because that's already done. So in fact, this is all we need to do, isn't it? Because that's going to return a Boolean, right? So all we need to do, that's an extra database call right there. We need to do has deleted is equal to this. And now I'm thinking, in fact, that's an extra database call, isn't it? Because it's going to fail if it can't find it. Idiot. There we go. Right. This is just an example of me overcomplicating life, isn't it? Okay. So let's just run this and see what happens. Okay, deleting user ID. User. Okay, I needed to put a little space in there. User with ID of 1 has been deleted. Let's go and have a look at that. So select all from user. Yes! Now, that's a bit worrying. Why are we adding an extra? Is that because we are... If I was to run that again, we get an exception. I didn't expect that. What's that? Line 15? What's going on? Of user manager. Hydrate. Oh, it's because I've deleted it and now I'm trying to query it and it's all going horribly wrong. Yes, I understand. So it's now failing because I've deleted this. So, and what's the exception is that the hydration can't work. Right. This is where we start getting into some yes, so this is complaining because it's an array, right? And must be type of an array, but a Boolean is given. So that would return false, in fact, right? I think. Yes, false on failure, which means we need to check for it. So on here, we need to say if, well, we could just check for the type. So if results, am I always returning an array? No, it's returning mixed. That's great. So if results, well, it would be, I'm just thinking from my performance head on it, that would be easier. So if it was that, sorry, if it was, forgive me, if it was that, then it would be that. And now we have to take into account the fact that it could also return null. So that, and then we should change this to be printing R. Well, that's what that does. All right, let's just refresh a minute. There we go. Cool. All right, so that, yeah, it's always inserting. I'm going to change these prints to be echoes because that's going to bug me. There, so that's echo. Let's put in some spaces. No, I can never remember if it's, is it that? No, and it needs to be on the other side. No, I think it's the other one. There we go. Right, yes, let's do that with that one. Good. And change the echoes, the prints to those. Okay, that's the deletion done. And we've had a play with the selecting as well. So I guess what we could do, finding user up here. If user is an instance of user, let's say if it's not an instance of user, well, if it is an instance of user, sorry, forgive me. No, it doesn't matter. We just do it on the else. Let's do error cannot find user by ID. So the reason why this is constantly inserting records, right? So if we were to, so we've got loads now. If I was to refresh this, we would. The whole point of me doing echoes was for this reason. Right. No, hang on a minute. Find user by. Can you at least give me a new row? Why? I don't understand why that's error. Cannot find user by ID. ID inserted new user. What? Oh, right, okay. Oh, I don't need to do that, do I? Never mind. Fine, whatever. I'm not wasting my time on this. It's because of the fact there's no prints and pre's and stuff. Doesn't matter. Anyway, what I was trying to explain was inserting a new user is here, and it's always inserting tester 2. So, you know, it's always going to be inserting that. That's why we've got a huge amount of records now. So okay, whatever. That was the deleting record stuff. That's what I wanted to actually just get in. The important stuff is actually getting it into there. So what's this commented out stuff? Update. Why am I? Is that the? Don't we have update going? Where? Because we've got save, right? Oh, I think. Yeah, let's get that. Let's get rid of that because we've got save. Save will just save the stuff. That's fine. Right, find by email and hash. Let's just get rid of that because that's going to be removed. All right, let's have a little look at this. So we've got find by ID, hydrate, save, delete by ID. Okay, that's fine. So save does both the insert and the update. That's good. Hydrates database record to an actual model. That's fine. Find by ID does exactly what it says on the tin. Finds by the ID and then hydrates it and returns the model back, else null if not. And saving will take the user and work out whether you've got an ID or not, and if you don't, then you're doing an insert, and if you do, then you're doing an update. And then deleting by ID runs the delete. Nothing to it. Right. Okay, so how long have we got? Oh, that was actually quite quick. Fair enough. Let's move on with the hashing, because I wouldn't mind getting that done today. Because that requires a change to the database table. I would like to have password in here. So we're going to log in through the email. That's going to be like our username. And then what we need to have is, because that means I can teach email validation. So we're going to have password, and the password is going to be like a varchar 255 for now. Good stuff. And we want to hash something. So the password, let me have a little look. Can I just do it? I think these are all nulls, right? So let's do show create table user. Okay, fine. That's not the view I wanted. Describe. Oh yeah, they are default null. Describe user. Right. Yes. So they are nulls. Fine. Oh, don't know why I copied that. Come on. Yes. Whatever. Right, so they are nulls. So what I need is this to be not null. Not null. Password to be not null. First name, last name. Do I change it to just be name? No. Okay. Okay. Because that's now not null, I need to actually put in a password. So password, and we'll just make one up for this particular user. Let's just do admin or something. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's just grab all the things and paste all the things. There we go. So now we have every time. Describe user. We now have these defaults are still not. Hang on a minute. I thought I set that to not null. We got the password in there. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong column, aren't I, idiot? So null, no, yes, yes, no, 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 no email, no password. Can't be null. Which means that if we ran this, we should get some errors. Woo! Did that? Yes. So PDO exception password doesn't have a default value. Ha ha ha. So this is Abstract Manager on line 40. Abstract Manager on line 40, which would be down here. Boom, boom, boom. Success, execute. This is on an insert. Right. So this is where we need to deal with the hashing of a password. So in temp. This is on insert, right? So this one here. So what I'm gonna do is in the model change have a password. Oh, we do. We already have. I'm already thinking about this, or I've already thought about this. Apparently, is this just getters and setters? Yes, it is. Okay, so the getter and setters will just return the raw password. But what we want to do on insert is hash that password. So in the user manager temp, no, let's do it from the temp. So on here, let's do set password. Let's do test 1 2 3 as 1 2. I can't count 1 2 3. What we want to do on this point here is hash the password when we insert it. So at this stage, we want to have password is equal to hashed password, right? So we need to come up with the hash password. And apparently I'm only allowing first name to be updated. That's another issue for another day, I think. So let's change this to be hash password is equal to so user get password. Right, so that's the raw password. That's no good. We need to hash it. We need to hash it. That's what we need to do. Okay, so let's try this. Password hash. And we're going to give it a hashing algorithm. In this case, I would like to use bcrypt. So password bcrypt. That's the hash password. That goes in there. That means we just store the hashed password, not the actual raw password. So if I was to refresh the page, invalid number of parameters bound. Oh god, what have I done? Still on line 40. Password is hashed password. Oh, I need silly person I am. Right, because I can't remember for the life of me what the backticks are on this keyboard, because I don't use this keyboard all the time. I'm just going to copy that because I'm lazy and just do password there. And this needs to be there we go. Is that right? Why is that looking wrong? What's wrong with that? First name, last name, email, password. Do we not have that? Okay, that's looking better. First name, last name, email, password. Okay, let's try that once more. Boom. Okay, so now technically, well, we do. Select all from user. Oh, you idiot. There we go. That's our password that we've just hashed and put in. So if I was to refresh the page again, we've deleted user 1. Yes, we've deleted user 1, and we can't find the user, and then we've inserted a new user, which is test, which is this one. And we've inserted the user with the credentials, well, with all this. So that there is that is the hash of test123, and then that's the algorithm. Okay, let's just change this up a little bit. Let's do for convenience sake, let's just do a ran of I don't know, 0 to 4. Let's randomize that a bit. So let's just see if we can, whoops, get some different hashes together. So you can see that it's all jumping up. So that means, there we go. These are different hashes because they're different passwords. Cool. And in fact, what I'm going to do is randomize that as well. Just cause, and I'm going to randomize that as well. Right, let's I tell you what, let's just do a delete. Let's just do a complete deletion. Delete from user. Boom. So they're all deleted now. Select all from user is empty. Let's refresh the page. Let's load that up. So there we go. We've got test 2. Oh, I didn't put a dot in there, did I? No, I didn't. Let's just make that a little bit better. Let's do up to 9. Up to 9. That needs to be a dot. let's let's drop the tables, drop all the things again. Let's refresh the page. Okay, so there we go. Test 8, 4, 1, 5. Let's spin this up again. So let's do a select all, and these are all different. Apart from test 2, why is that? Have I not randomized this? First name. Why is that not changing? Why is first name always tested 2? I mean, I know it's random, so there is a possibility that they're always the same one, but not really. Actually, no, there isn't. Now we're setting. I've got it. Now we're setting the name, and then we're updating it. Right. I see what I've done. Right. Let's just change that to be random as well. Again, delete all those, refresh the page. That's 4. Great. All right. I'm going to just, for my own sanity, I'm just going to change that around. So let's do refresh. There we go. Good. Okay. So that's cool. What's the time? 18:25. Oh, that's plenty of time. I thought, for some reason, I thought that was going to take me much longer. Right. So none of this is tested. None of this is refactored. None of this is documented. None of this is validated. This needs to change. There is a question over this, the abstract manager. I do want to change it because ideally I want to inject, I want this as a class that I inject into here. Really, I think, because then I've got better control over this. I can see this becoming a God class, of just a bucket for things that relate to the model, well, to the manager. Whereas really, what we're doing here, we're doing a lot of the same things. So statement, preparing, executing, getting a lot. We're doing a lot of stuff which is the same, and I would like to encapsulate all of this stuff in a separate class. So we could have a class. I'm not going to build it now. I guess at this point I should be thinking, right, now I've got the proof of concept working, regardless of whether there's duplication or not. The need for refactoring, it's an excuse now, or it's a good place. Draw the line in the sand to say, right, we want to test it now, and we want to test the refactoringness. So if I was to refactor this, what would I do? I would probably create a method specifically for passing in the SQL, whatever that is, and passing in the parameters to bind. And then it would just do a this. It would do this. So a method that just has the SQL and an array of stuff, and then it would just do the execute, and then it would return whatever the execution is. The question though is, maybe it should return the statement. So on execute, what does that do? It's returning a Boolean, true or false. So no, I can't return. Well, I can return the execution, because that's what we're doing here. And then at this point, when we're doing a fetch, it would be up to the query by ID to do that. Right. Okay. Let me see if we can write some tests. Do we have Composer installed? I think we do. Let's just come out of this for a second. We know that that all works. That's great. Let's go into the project. ls. Let's just do Composer install. I think we've got everything. Yeah, we do. So we've got in the binaries, we've got PHP unit. So let's generate PHP code, a PHP code unit stuff. I guess really I should be thinking about documentation as well at this stage. Yeah. All right, let's put a pin in that. On the index, we do course introduction, project setup. I guess at this point, project setup, we want to look at, that's intro, that's fine. We want to start looking at setting up all of this stuff. I'm just going to have a little quick look at the other project that we've got, which is PHP login course. Because I bet it's going to be fairly similar. Lessons. It's that one there. What you'll learn, create project structure, how to install packages. Okay, so we can't do the project structure until we know how we're going to handle the controllers. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to deal with the controllers first. I know what I'm going to do because my head is starting to spin. I am going to write some tickets. That's what I'm going to do. In GitHub here. Yes. Let's do projects. Add a project. Nope. Hang on a minute. What's going on? Can't I create a project? What? No. That's the website. New project. New project. Hold on. Have they changed this again? If we go to the course login and go projects, there's a project specifically for, oh, it's not in beta, that's why, course build. Okay, that's essentially what I need. Let's go to wherever that project is, course registration, and then let's do projects, that one, new project. There we go. Right. So we'll call this build. Basic Kanban, please. Create a project. Right. Yes, I know how to do all of this stuff. Thank you. Thank you. Right. So let's create some stuff. So, all right, we need to do create controllers. Yeah, create controllers. And in the controller, oh, you idiot. Convert to issue. Yes, convert to an issue, please. Ugh. Right. Can we do a things to do list? No, that's not a things to do list. No. That's a things to do list. Right. So create controller for, well, we don't need to write that out. Let's just do login, log out. Can't spell log out. What else do we need to do? Profile. edit profile. And we need registration. So do we do this all in one controller, or do we just do, I think there needs to be two controllers actually. One is security, right? So that will hold login and log out and registration. And then registration, and then we would have another one that would be profile, and that would have edit profile. Well, it would have two in fact. So these are the actions of the controllers. So we would have we would have edit profile. Let's just break that down to edit. Then we would have view. So with security, we would have, I suppose these are actions, right? So these would be, come on you. Yes, so these would be public methods that are, we need to then create a routing system. So if we do update on that one a minute. So I just edit that. So that would be security controller. That would be profile controller. Controller. Right. So they're the two controllers. I should have really split this up into two tasks, but whatever. Maybe we do that. So that's create security controller. Let's edit that, grab that. And then new issue, create profile. Controller. Okay. Can't spell profile. So we need to create a routing system. New issue. Create router. Right, so at this point we need to come up with some ideas for the paths. So we know that we've got login, we know that we've got logout, we know that we've got registration, and we know that we've got edit profile. So this could be /login. This could be /logout. Why is it loggoot? This could be /join. This could be /profile. There's also a profile view. So view profile. So that would be this would be /profile. Sorry, profile. That would be /profile. It would still be /profile, and you would pass in. Dare I put in the ID? No, I don't. It would be a post. So okay, this would be get and post. This would be get. This would be both a get. Oops, sorry. A get and a post. And then this would be a. This would be a get. This would be a post. Cool. That's kind of the plan. Sort of. Yeah, like a... Oh, good point. Index router. Yes, good point. Good point. Well done, that man. Yes, so that would be... so index would be a get. And it would be just slash. Now, there needs to be a controller for this, right? So let's go back over to issues and have a look at the... I suppose we would just create a controller for... Create index controller. Thank you. Time 1844, 1840. So it would just have the method index. Okay, this will kind of make sense to me. I mean, I'm the only one on this project, so it kind of makes sense to me. Although probably next week I'll look at this and go, what was I smoking? Right. So, oh good. Where's the other issues? Projects. What do you mean no project? Untitled project. Could that be it? Why do I have an untitled project? Okay, I've just assigned these to a project that is untitled. I don't understand. I honestly don't understand. There's a project somewhere. It's called build. Is it just me? Am I just being daft? Oh, I need to give it a status. Oh, does that mean I have to go through all the ones? So your project, which is apparently untitled. I don't know. Mark as open? What? Yeah. Go figure. Oh, God. When you've been working with Jira all day and you do this, it just gets... You just remember why you recommend Jira to your clients. Right. In progress, I'm guessing. Do I have to click save? Or no, that's automatically going to do save. GitHub is not an issue management system. There's a difference between an issue tracker and an issue management system. This is not it. That's fine. Okay, can we go back to the projects? Please say that I'm not going to waste. Oh, you. I nearly swore. Okay, I think, screw you, GitHub. I'm going to just... There's obviously some little setting somewhere. Build. I don't get... what? Untitled project. I think I've created a project and just... Build. Take that out. Is that it? Awaiting triage. Okay, now get projects. Edit. No! Oh, I don't know. I think I need to have some. I think I need to have a drink. Okay, right. Let's just concentrate on the issues. I will sort all this out. No, I'm just clicking around. I'll sort all this out at some point. I'm completely bamboozled by the options or the lack of triage to do. What does that do? Added this to build projects. Do we now have 2 issues in the build? Yes, we do. Okay. All right. Okay. So but I can't do that from this point of view, right? I can't do projects, organization. Well, I can't even find the build in here. No. Right, so I think I might have to do this individually. So that's done. That I have no idea what project this is about. Click on U, click on build, untick that, change that to be. Oh, it was because I didn't wait for the Ajax to refresh. I was just getting impatient. Yes. Typically, it's human error. Typically, it's got, GitHub was awaiting triage. I think you got to wait. Do you have to wait for that to come in? There's usually a drop down. Apparently not. Let's try on that one. This one to do. That's good. This one to do. Ah, right. Oh, no. I keep clicking it thinking that that's going to change it, but it's actually the... there we go. To do. Awaiting... Here we go. To do. Right. Projects. For the love of God, tell me I've got 4. Thank you. Right, 4 in there, and in terms of issues, we've got 4. Right, everything's wired up. That was very painful. That was incredibly painful. Right. Good. What's the next thing? From now on, I'm just going to add from this point here. Right, so we've done the controllers. We need to create some views, I guess. HTML views, and we need to work out how we're going to convert the IPO. So the inputs would be the request, the process would be whatever the controller's doing, and then the output would be sending it down the wires as a view. So, I mean, again, if we were to, I'm gonna just have to do it on create view for login, create view for logout, create view for profile view. Well, no, it'll be just profile, because it'll be both viewing and editing. Create view for registration. What else? So we've got registration, viewing and editing of profile, log out, log in. I think that covers it, right? Okay, there's another one. I want create error CSS, create success. These are like notifications, CSS. What else? I think that covers the views. Oh, obviously, like create main CSS file. And then I suppose that would have something like header. I suppose this is a layout, right? So you would have layout, you would have a header, you would have a footer, you would have main. The header would have like navigation, and the navigation would be like something like for a logged out it would be login. Well, no, for a logged out user you wouldn't have any navigation at all. For a logged in user we would have logouts, and the person's name. Person's full name. Okay, then we would have the main, and this would have like the main section would have like forms. It would have, yeah, it would just be forms, right? Yeah. And then and then you would have a footer which would have like, you know, a link back to how to code well or something like that. Whatever. Okay. Okay. But what else shall we do? There is other things that we need to do around the password as well. So, I mean, this is, yeah. So when we do an insert, we're inserting, that's like a registration. No, maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. Okay, so going back to the original thing where I was looking at the code and I was thinking maybe we should refactor all of this stuff. But before we refactor, we should write some tests. So we probably need to do that, right, as the next step. Or, well, there's two ways to go. We either refactor, we either test and refactor what we have, or we work on the controllers. And then test and refactor once I've decided how that will hang together. And we have a couple of minutes left of the stream. So how should that work? And then we need to map all of this to the actual lesson plan. So let me review the lesson plan again, because we have made some decisions. So course introduction, that's fine. Project setup, that's fine. Creating the register form, creating the login form, creating the profile form. I think we need to have something in between where we say create project layout, creating the project layout. So that's now lesson 2. So let's change that to lesson 3, 4, 5, 6. Because then that lesson will build the actual layout of the form, and we'll use things like grid and flexbox or both. I haven't decided yet. $13, $14, $15. Right. So project setup, creating the project layout, creating the register form, creating the login form, creating the profile form. Okay, then connecting to the database, then creating the users table, then inserting a user record, validating the user input, register a new user, select. Okay, let's stop here. So register a new user is something that I'm going to do first, right? So when we register, we insert. So if I was to look at the order of this, what we would do is we would build the registration first. We would then, so register a new user. Would that encompass inserting a new user and validating user input? It would. This is what we would do. So this is handling the form. This is validating the user input. So this is about like, this is about like dealing with the post request. And then this would be validating the user input, which would have things like has the email address already been taken? Is the password too short? So maybe we should split that up into another section. So that should be check if validate the email. So there's two things here. Is it a correct email address? Like, is it formatted correctly, and has the email already been taken? So validate the email formats could be one lesson. And then the next lesson would be validate, I'll deal with the numbers in a minute. Validate the email, validate, or it's not really validate, check if the user has already been taken. Now this requires a different query because you're passing in the email. Okay, and then we insert the record once that's done. And then when we log in, that would be handling the login form. So that, again, that's upside down. So that's handling the, sorry. That's handling the post request of the login. So dealing, and at that point I can do some validation in terms of like, does the email address exist? Does the does the password exist from the post request? And then we needed to select a user record based on that. Okay, so then we've got updating a user record. So I don't know why I've done all this. This should be, I've obviously put this up around the wrong way. Let's batch these up a little bit. And then we've got deleting a user. So this would be, there would be another option in here. So deleting a record. So that would have, that would handle the post request of deleting a record. And again, we need to go back to the, we haven't added that, have we, as a root? Let's go back to here. So create the security controller, index controller, profile controller. There we go. That's what we need. So we need to have delete, view, edit, view, and delete is what we're going to do. And then create a router. Yep, let's just deal with that. So that needs to be view. That's post. That is profile delete. Okay. Cool. So we go back to the, have I done all that for the views? Well, registration, create a view for the profile. I haven't added any of the body for this yet, so I mean that I can do all that later. Cool. Okay. What's the time? Right. Down on the nose. Right. I need to shoot off. I've got gym and then dinner. So I think we're getting somewhere. I think what will happen next week is I'll start. I think it would be best if I started to test this, what we've got so far. Otherwise, I can see myself going down many rabbit holes. And I think I want to keep going back to this to ensure that I'm actually, you know, this is the line that I want to keep going through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I can see this going into the 20s, maybe 30s. So this is actually going to be quite a big course. Yes. And my challenge as I go through building this is A, trying to think about how to build it in the best way, and B, trying to map what I've built to lessons that are quite singular. So, like for example, in the registering a new user, I won't be teaching things like you know, updating a user profile, or, you know, running the update script, or doing a delete record, or dealing with the project layout. So I need to be quite siloed on these, because each one of these will be a video about a specific thing. And I don't really mind if the video is like 2 minutes long or if it's 10 minutes long. If it goes a little bit longer than, say, 15 minutes, then I think there's an issue. I mean, I suppose it depends on the flow of it, but we'll see. This is all up for debate, all of this. Anyway, 18 does feel good. Anyway, I need to shoot off. Thank you ever so much for watching. Happy coding, everyone. And I'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.